All right, when we next have a presentation, I do want to make a comment that we did not eliminate the public comment in the beginning part. We just didn't have anybody sign up for public comment on the other items. And at this point, we were basically just dividing up and making sure that the individuals that were talking about this issue were closer to the time of the discussion and presentation on the issue. With that, I guess I'll turn that over to ODOT for a presentation on the Interbelt Bridge.
Thank you very much. This is the next in a series of quarterly updates that ODOT's been providing to this board. Our last update was in August of this year. And we'd like to give you an update today on the overall Cleveland Interbelt project, the Cuyahoga River Valley crossing, as well as the Lakefront West project. When we were here in August, we talked about the overall environmental process, at which point we had the final environmental impact statement approved by Federal Highway, and they had issued a notice of availability, and we were awaiting a record of decision. And we did get that record of decision in September of this year, September 18th of 2009, and that culminated a little over 8 years of interaction with the public in developing the plan for this entire corridor. The first three construction contract groups that come out of this project, the implementation sequence is, first of all, the new westbound Interbelt Bridge in 2011 through 2014, followed by the demolition of the existing bridge and the construction of a new eastbound bridge parallel to the new westbound bridge in 2014 through 2017, and then the remainder of the work within the central interchange and the I-77 approach to the central interchange in the following year. In reality, there's a lot more work, and I realize you can't see that, so I'll give you that. Construction contract group 4 is the Interbelt Curve. You can see it's spread out over about 5 years, and the reason is we've got to build railroad bridges in phase, one half at a time. We have a series of city streets over the interstate that have to be done in sequence, so we can't close them all at the same time, so we have to stage those out before we can actually go in and start reconstructing the main line through there. And likewise, when we get into the Interbelt Trench, we need to do the city streets and stagger them so that we're not doing all at once, and then work our way through the trench. And there's work also south of the corridor in the Metro Curve area. Most of that work is maintenance type. It's reconstructing pavements and that. On the 71, the only physical change would be a deceleration lane from 71 south entering the Jennings Freeway. On 77 south, it's replacing the I-490 bridge, the I-77 bridge deck over I-490, and then consolidating the Broadway and Pershing entrance ramps on the south side of that interchange. This will be ODOT's first value-based design-build project. ODOT has been using design-build since 1996, and to date we've done 80 projects worth over $400 million. The very first one was here in District 12 in Lake County, State Route 2 over Newell Creek. For this project, we asked and received legislative approval to, rather than do the low bid design-build process we had used for the previous ones, to develop and incorporate a value-based design-build process. We did receive that authority earlier this year, as well as authority to increase our biennium limit of design-build contracts from $250 million to $1 billion. And I'll talk a little bit more about the process in a minute. The advantages of design-build, first of all, it allows us to overlap design and construction, so we can reduce the delivery time by initiating some construction of some components before the design is 100%. It improves constructability. When we prepare a set of plans, we need to essentially prepare generic plans so that any contractor with any equipment can build this. By combining the design and the construction, the contractor can customize the design to his strengths, so it becomes more efficient for him to build. We also optimize the cost. A lot of times when we're doing a project and we're looking at concrete versus steel and asphalt versus concrete, we need to make decisions in advance of potential market changes. This project, since the contractor has control of those decisions, those are market-based, market-driven decisions at the time the bid is submitted. So we will get the best price and the best materials for the cost. It also reduces conflicts because we have a single entity that's controlling both the design and the construction. So we no longer have any finger pointing or accusation going between the design professionals and the construction professionals. We now have a single point of responsibility. In the last year, with the implementation of the ARA funding and the decision to advance the construction of the new westbound bridge, we reconvened our aesthetics and urban design subcommittee that had been working with us for a number of years to look at, rather than the whole corridor, to concentrate their efforts on this first construction contract group. We worked with them through the summer and the early fall and came up with final recommendations in October. Those were taken to the City Planning Commission, which approved the aesthetics on November 6th. And last week, December 1st, we submitted the plan package, the contract documents from our district office to our central office for further processing. Next is what we call PS&E, or Plan Specifications and Estimate, and that is our formal submittal to Federal Highway for approval of, for authorization of the funds. Again, we're working against that 365-day clock that the ARA program established, and we're on schedule to complete that and get that authorization in time. Now going back to this value-based design build. Our traditional design build, we put out our specifications and the contractors give us a price and the low bid gets the award. It works very good for simple, straightforward projects. This project is much too complex for that method, so we developed the value-based design build process. The first step of that is in February we will issue requests for qualifications from design build teams. We will evaluate those qualifications and shortlist approximately 3 teams, and those 3 teams will then be requested to submit proposals. They will prepare both technical proposals and cost proposals, and they'll submit those to us in August. The cost proposals will remain sealed while the technical proposals are evaluated. Once the evaluation of the technical proposals are complete, the cost proposals will be open and the final calculation will be made, and the best value will be awarded the contract. We're looking at the final selection authorization in the early fall with contract authorization before the end of next year. Don't anticipate much construction starting in 2010, but we do anticipate construction starting in 2011 and continuing through early 2014.